Hi, this is my Note 2 on the Wilson Sleek Booster UScellular 4G. And booster, it's kind of like an external antenna for the unit because it doesn't broadcast like some of the repeater boosters do. You just have to have your phone coupled right up to this. I talked more about the booster unit itself and showed it in some more depth in the previous video. So if you want to take a look at that to learn more about this booster, you can. Here I'm going to look a little bit at performance, and let me just give a smidge of background. Basically, my phone here I got over the winter months, and until around April, May of this year, we started having sporadic issues in that time frame, that April, May time frame. And basically, UScellular blamed it on that there's foliage, there's leaves on the trees. Bottom line, I was not able to convince them to do anything about it. They just said you have too many trees around your house. That's what's blocking the signal. Well, I've tested pretty extensively. I can see that there's signal problems. Like going a couple blocks in one direction, and then the signal problems essentially all clear up when you go about 500 feet in the other direction. So I'm convinced it's tower related, but they would do nothing about it. They said you can spend about $500 to get out of your contract, or you can just live with it. And bottom line, the situation is during the winter, I would upload stuff all the time. I'd upload my videos. These Note 2s take nice large videos if you use them for HD, which I really like doing. And I record videos of my pets. I record product reviews, record all kinds of stuff, and they're about 125 megs a minute. So I often have substantial uploads. I have the fastest home internet connection I can get, and between my video work and my online backups, I pretty much keep that one maxed out. So I really enjoyed having the UScellular internet available. Not to mention I'm paying for the unlimited plan on there, so it's nice to be able to use it. But when I started having problems this year, I was basically getting cut off all the time. It was not staying stable at any speed. You'd try and even just load a web page, and you'd get connection lost. You'd say you'd run the speed test to be sorry, connection timed out. And this happened to me even outside, as I was mentioning, in the area around and near our house. The same thing would happen. It happened to me on the road. So basically I needed to find a solution. I decided to try this speed booster after reading positive reviews and reading from Wilson that the AT&T 4G LTE works on UScellular as well. So that's what I did. I got this just under 2 weeks ago, and on to the performance. So without the booster here, this is a spot in my house where I used to have it working fine, but once we started having problems, I would get errors on this very frequently. Just for, I'm going to pop it out of the booster, and I'm going to just do a speed test with it out of there, and we'll just see what happens here. So I have background data use turned off. So this is actually a surprisingly fast test. Now I set this a foot away. I'm going to just unplug it. You're supposed to have to have it right on there. And that's my impression, is they have to have it on there to get it to really do anything. I did have times where it would work reasonably well for a while, and then it would take a couple times to kick out on me. And if you've been following stuff on the Team UScellular forum, you may have seen that happen to me, but from other videos. But let me go ahead. I'm going to restart this test. We got a 4 over 1.6. So let's just do one more test, and then we'll plug it into the booster and see what happens there. What I can tell you here real easily is that, and there we go. Now you see it. That is exactly what happens all the time without a booster, is that I get this error if I'm doing a speed test or the equivalent timeout in some other program. And like I said, I have background data restriction on, so there's nothing else hogging my connection, and I'm getting this. So let me go ahead and get the power plugged back in, and we're in the same spot here. We're not moving anywhere. I'm just snug this up. It just kind of clips in there, but it's much easier to do with two hands. So now I have it in the booster. And if you didn't see my other video, I'll just show real quick. This is the antenna it's connected to. So that's about 6 feet up. It's on their suction cup mount, and this is a small antenna. It's about 5 inches high. I have another larger antenna. I bought this out of my car. So let's go ahead and we're going to try again, not changing anything else on the phone. And I'm going to just verify the power is on from that green dot, and we're going to see what happens. Now, interestingly, a lot of times I saw my my download speeds tended to hang a little on the slower side, and then my upload speeds tended to be faster on the booster, which was perfectly fine with me, but I couldn't really explain it. In this location here, in this setup, I can not even think of, in almost 2 weeks now, I basically don't think I've gotten any timeout or errors or like lost connections or anything of that nature at all. So here's a test that was 5.86 down, 3.37 up. So we're more than double on the upload there from the previous test result, which was 1.63. And a little faster on the upload. So let's just do one more here. And because the results can vary a lot, but the bottom line is that I am not getting kicked off. My uploads work, my downloads work, whatever I want to do with the phone, it stays on, it stays connected. This little thing blasts through and connects to whatever tower does not have problems or boosts my signal the needed amount. Now this is a little slower than I usually get for my uploads, but this is like what I used to get during the winter. 3 megs, hey, I'm happy with that. Works perfectly. That works perfectly fine. I can get a lot of stuff uploaded, be very functional. So you can see here, this is very consistent now, and this video was a really good demo because you saw basically right away there what happened with my connection without using this booster. And now I don't know if it's the time of day or what happens. I think the other window actually works a little better, but I think I was starting to tell you before, a lot of times my uploads actually register as more like 7 to 9 megs for upload speed, so this is definitely on the slower side right now, and that certainly could be a network issue also. So I'm not complaining about that. It's working. Why don't I tell you a little bit about where else I found this works? I put it in my car. I bought another larger antenna that's about 16 inches, and without going to these other places again to video it and show you, I'll just tell you. When I traveled about an hour and a half from home here south, I was in I traveled in, it was a USCellular 4G coverage area. I went to a park that was kind of out of the way. It was out of the city. And on one phone, the phone that we did not have on the booster, we actually lost all service, including voice. We couldn't even make a voice call. We had no data service. And on this one, almost the entire time in the park, I maintained a working 4G connection and a very solid voice connection. So it worked extremely well. It worked extremely well there for me. I was really impressed with it. I tried it at a different park where my connections have been kind of back and forth, but I often would not even be able to upload a photo at. That one's to the east about 20 miles of here, and that's still in the realm of a 4G coverage area. In some spots in the park I did good coverage, but a lot of times I was not able to upload anything. I did a speed test there, and I was like, I think I was getting about a 5 meg upload connection and a few megs down, and everything, the pictures I uploaded, snap, 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 everything went right up, no problems at all. So I've just done a couple of speed tests in the background here. So this could be the server we're testing against, or it could be time of day or whatever, that we're not getting a faster upload. But you can see we're not timing out, no problems here. So even just having it work just like this, it's totally worth it to me to have something work like this, because it makes my connection stable. It makes it very usable. I can, you know, have it sit here and upload my movies, upload my photos from the phone, you know, to Facebook, to, you know, my backup service, to YouTube, wherever I need to send them. So then the last thing I'll get into, without going real long-winded here, is the final test I really did with this was in my car. Last week we traveled north of here, and we went a total of about 3 hours north of here in Wisconsin, and beyond about 45 minutes from my home area, we get into a 3G coverage area. And according to the maps, according to USCellular maps, I would say that they label the area, they label 90% of the area that we were in as having 3G coverage. And with the booster, I would say we did get coverage. We got 3G coverage in the majority of those places, though when we're in parks and camping, there are definitely some dead spots in there. I had a really hard time. I had a much harder time on 3G determining how much the booster was helping versus wasn't helping. It was really hard to tell how much it was doing, because with the voice service there, it was really obvious, because I would be at spots where I lost voice service, or my voice service was so, you know, it was incredibly choppy, and I could barely hear the call, and then I slid it into the booster, and then all of a sudden it was either perfect or it was near perfect. So there was no question in my mind that it was working on the that was working really well for the voice service. The 3G though, and I don't know if I can quickly find this in my logs while I'm talking. So I've been back on 14. All right. Well, I don't know if I'll find it here. There it is. Yeah. Right here. Okay, look at this. This is what I was traveling when I tested my speed on the 3G. I had these results like spread out over different times. I think you can see on here. Some of these are like 10 o'clock at night. Some of this earlier was 2 in the afternoon. I kept getting these 3G test speeds that were like 0.08 down and 0.11 up, or something extremely similar to that. I'm going to cut this and make it a different video.